It's aggravated assault, in fact. So it's a crime to do that, and it's something that we take very seriously.
6 Fort Smith police officers off the job tonight over allegations of hazing and misconduct. Police Chief Danny Baker says he is deeply troubled over the results of a recent internal investigation. That investigation accuses those officers on the night shift patrol of pointing loaded firearms at fellow officers.
And according to the chief, the officers are also accused of threatening to withhold backup in dangerous situations. Now the department says they're requesting to decertify all of those 6 officers involved. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer is digging into what the next steps look like. Hey, Lauren.
Yeah, pretty serious stuff here. Today, Fort Smith police described this as an appalling situation to go on in such a professional environment where there's so much public trust. Tonight, I looked into the requirements to decertify an officer, as Fort Smith police are now calling for those 6 former officers to no longer be allowed to work at any other departments in the state.
Rodrigo Roque, Michael D'Agostino, Danny Nakalabin, Seth Dominic, Johnny Lay, and Dalton Tucker are no longer Fort Smith police officers.
We want the public to know that we expect accountability from us just as much as they do.
And the department says their goal is to make sure they can't be at any other department in Arkansas through decertification.
It's any law enforcement agency's responsibility to let people know that these types of individuals are out there.
The process is led by the state's Commission on Law Enforcement Standards and Training. In documents from the Department of Public Safety, the process involves a written notice and a hearing. The Commission can revoke certification over a few reasons. Some are failure to meet minimum requirements, conduct that is punishable by law, and committing a violation of the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. If an officer wants to argue the decertification, they can request a hearing within 20 days of the notice. They can then plea their case to a commission in a public meeting, which they have around every 2 months. Department heads must have a letter of justification or other documentation requested by the commission if they want to request decertification. These actions the former officers in Fort Smith are accused of could be deemed criminal, like pointing a firearm at another person.
It's aggravated assault, in fact.
But the 6 terminated officers are not facing criminal charges at this time, as none of the officers who were victim of threats with firearms are pressing charges right now.
We've consulted with them to they have that option if they want to pursue that.
Fort Smith police say they are still investigating the situation, and I've reached out to some of the terminated officers and they haven't responded. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.